Thanks for joining us again on the show, and it's time to take a look at today's matches, and we've got some big netball coming your way. First up is Werribee Centrals versus Anarchy, and Werribee coming off a massive win over Geelong West last week, Birdie. Do you think Anarchy will challenge them?
Look, last week's results, Anarchy just went down to North Geelong last week by 12 goals, which is pretty good for Anarchy. They actually had a win the week before that against... no, they didn't. Bannockburn beat them before that. Look, I think the way we've only got 3 games to go before finals, Werribee are really, just chugging along at the moment. They've got their game plan down pat now, and Christy down at Werribee, she's got the girls on song, and I really, of course, you'd love to see Anarchy get up and do the impossible, but I really don't think they can do it. I think Werribee just too strong all over the court. There's not one position Werribee that you can say, oh, there's a bit of a weakness there. They're just strong all over the court. Great centre court, great defence, great goals. It's very hard to beat them. So if you're going to beat them, you're going to have to be on song and bring your A game that day to try and do it. So,
Flick Belpost Hill take on Corio today. Could be perhaps a closer game out of this round's matches.
Yeah, I think this might be one of the games of the round, this one. But very physical. Corio always bring very physical games. I haven't heard on Belpost, do they have all their players this week coming up, Birdie?
No, look, last week against Inverleigh, Belpost Hill were missing both the Samoan girls. They're both out injured. Amanda Grant did her ankle in the first quarter against Inverleigh. She played for another quarter or so, but she was gone. She got taken off maybe after half time. And Terry was really struggling there to put a team on the court. He got a couple of the B-grade girls come up. They played defence in the Inverleigh game and did a good job too. Terry was really happy with the way they played. So look, Belpost still got a few injury concerns at the moment. And it's going to be interesting. You've got to be careful, Corio. They're playing well at the moment. And if they've got a full team in, they're going to be in trouble. If
Corio are playing well on the day and can put a full 4 quarters together as a team, then they're definitely a hard one to beat. So I think this one will be very close.
Tammy Eldridge for Corio, Danielle Davis all shooting nicely at the moment. So look, Belpost still got to be careful. This is a bit of a danger game for them, and they really don't want to drop a game between now and the finals.
No, they can't afford to drop the game, can they? They're sitting in third spot now comfortably. So
Winch is hot on that little tail of theirs, and they drop a game. So, yeah.
Speaking of Winch, Flick, you guys are up against North Geelong today at North.
Yeah.
Do you still have a few injuries?
Yes, Renee Pilkington is still out, and we're still not sure what's happening there. We have had Jacinta Carroll, who plays in our under-17s, in the last couple of weeks. She has just been flown to Canada today to compete in the world titles again, so in water skiing, so we've lost her for 2 weeks now. She's been filling one of our wing positions quite nicely in the last couple of weeks, so I would say that Ange and Bronny will step back up again and play in there. So, but I believe the rest of the girls are around. So.
Fantastic, and both coming off wins last week, so this should be a really good, tough game.
Should be a good game.
Yeah, I watched North Geelong and Anarchy last week, and I don't want to take anything away from North's win, but they were very flat. I hadn't seen North play like that, I don't think, ever. They were very flat. They started very slowly, so they really need to pull up their socks if they're going to be competitive against Winchilsea. So,
just before you go on there, Megan, during the week, we had a few calls made to the show about playing netball and pregnancy. And I just want to make it clear that it is up to the individual girl. If she wants to play netball while she's pregnant, then that decision is up to her and no one else. I've known girls to play up to 6 months before they give up playing, and that's up to the individual. And as far as Netball Australia goes and Netball Victoria, there is no ruling there to say that yes or no, and they've just got to make that decision themselves.
And there are guidelines on the Netball Victoria website. There is an infonet, it's called, and it has about pregnancy and playing during pregnancy. So if people do have any concerns, they can look that up and have a read. But as Bertie says, it is up to the individual.
Absolutely. Thompson now taking on Bannockburn out at Bannockburn today. What are your thoughts on this one? I'm really expecting a big win for Thompson.
Yeah, look, I really do think so. And even though Bannockburn have been playing some good netball over the last couple of weeks, I just think now that Sonia's got Thompson to a stage now where they all know each other's game plan, what they're all doing. And I'm sure Sonia will once again experiment a little bit with a couple of girls in a couple of different positions and see how they go. But, you got Jeanette Davis there in the centre court, running, playing great at the moment. She's playing wing attack nearly every game. Georgie Young there. I saw Georgie have a run in goal defence last week against East Geelong, and she provides a lot of drive down through the centre court there coming out of defence. So look, Bannockburn up against it, and Deb Barclay, maybe Deb might have to put something in those drink bottles again to get the girls over the line, like the Anarchy game. You never know. So I think Thompson will come home.
Yeah, and I think Bannockburn can also use the opportunity. They're not going to make finals. They know that, and they can use that, which Deb has been in. I've noticed in the past few weeks there's been a few different names in there. So she's using these last few games to try out different combinations and see how they go and prepare for next year, which is not a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
Yep.
For sure.
I know last week we played them and they did have a few injuries out. I think 3 or 4.
Yes,
so,
they have.
They've been filling those positions with a lot of younger girls. There was 3 under 17 girls on the court at one stage on Saturday, I believe. So they're definitely trying out those juniors too.
That's right. And give them a go now and then start afresh next year and see where the season goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, great idea. Now, two sides have struggled just a little bit this season. Belmont taking on Geelong West today. Could this go either way, this game? I want to know your thoughts because we have seen Geelong West play some better netball this year. So is there an opportunity for them to knock off Belmont?
There is an opportunity. As you said, they have been playing better netball in the last few weeks, but I think I don't think Jess de Grande will let that happen. I think she'll step up for these last few weeks and try and get some scores on the board. So Belmont will be looking to rebuild. I know that's the end of the season, but they'd like to finish off a bit better than what they've done, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, look, I think it'll go as per what we would
Belmont's
think.
way?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
West will put up a good fight, and it will be closer to what we expect, but I think Belmont will get up over the line there. Bit too much pride on the line there, and they'll get over they'll come home with a win.
And your thoughts on the final game, East Geelong up against Inverleigh?
Yeah, look, I know that after last week's result against Belpost Hill, Mandy will be going over to East Geelong this week, singing her club's praises and her team's praises. East Geelong, stricken with injuries. Tasman Burridge is still out with a foot injury. So look, there's major problems there as far as East Geelong goes. Girls missing. Brittany Rowbottom came up from B grade last year and from last week, and played her first A grade game and shot pretty well in the A grade game against Thompson. So she may play again in East Geelong's A grade side. And Amy Hardiman swung herself back down into defence at the end of the game there. Amy, as much as Amy likes shooting in goals, she really would prefer in defence. So I think probably maybe Inverleigh, with the way they're playing at the moment, maybe just a bit too strong for East Geelong.
Yep, we all think Inverleigh. All right, that brings us to the end of the show. Thanks for your company today. Megan, a special thank you to you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Megan, is it your shout? That meant your shout, the last time of the show? What's going on there?
Yeah, it's not the last one yet.
Oh, okay.
I'll think about
It's
it.
only 9 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, it is soon.
I don't think that would matter to Bertie.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
All right, thank you so much for your company today. We'll be back at the same time next week. See you then.